everyone. Welcome to chapter 38 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. And I'm kneeling by my thickness planer, so you've probably already guessed it. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to run dust collection to my thickness planer. So stay tuned. And like I said in the intro, we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive into how I ran dust collection from my chute-less Makita 2040 to my Clearview Cyclone. So we're starting at the front here, just giving you a little bit of an overview of what I did, but we're going to go around to the back now and take you through piece by piece. Okay, hopefully you don't get nauseous watching the camera go. All right, so we're at the back of the machine. This dust chute I built a couple of episodes ago. The only thing that's changed since you last saw it is I have coated everything with liberal amounts of aluminum foil tape, both inside and outside. The outside was more or less for looks and for sealing and to get rid of some of the sharp edges. The inside was for flow. So it's nice and smooth on the inside. I tried to do a good job taping it, and that worked out, I think, fairly well. The hood is fastened to the thickness planer with basically fasteners that are used in steel stud construction. So I can give you a little bit of a close-up right here. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Find you. Okay, so you can see it's a self-tapping tip and then a fairly low profile head with a Phillips head on it. So they work okay, and they're nice and flat. They're not sharp, which I like because I do intend to have students in this shop, and if you have something sharp and not where it should be, chances are you can guarantee that somebody's going to get hurt with it. So I'm trying to take that into consideration as I go. Once I got that fastened on, oh, by the way, there's three fasteners on top and one on the, I don't know if you can even see it, one on the very, very underside. There it is. So moving on to the first set of elbows. Now, I had originally planned just to have one elbow here and take this up at 90 degrees. In fact, I had one already modified slightly to do that. But then I went and looked for my, I don't know what I was looking for in my box of fittings, and here I found that I had these two couplings, kind of 245s, already set together and taped. So I thought, well, I'd try that. The only problem with this system, although it is better for flow, it takes quite a bit of extra room to the right of the planer when you're at the front of it. So that's a bit of a problem, but I'm going to try this for a while and see, and see how I like it. So anyway, we've got 240 or 245s more or less. This one's getting kind of flat. The other thing that I've noticed with these elbows, the adjustable elbows are kind of weak because they're just kind of held together by a floating joint, which in my opinion isn't very strong, and you can see them flex quite a bit. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is put a piece of sheet metal brace and across this elbow here to hold it straight, because it's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little wiggly now. So in this shop, the way I intend to have it set up is definitely a game of inches. And losing 6 inches here, moving my planer 6 inches more towards table saw, that could potentially be a big deal. But I'm going to try it like this, see if it works. I think I figured it out that I can still rip a 4x8 sheet into a 2x8 sheet or two 2x8 sheets on my table saw, and that's still going to work. So yeah, we're going to see how this all works out in the future, but for right now we're going to run it like this. If I have to, I'll go to a single elbow. So after the elbow, again, the elbow's held together, the same screws. So after the elbow, now with the main rise in the pipe being behind the thickness sander, we ran into another little bit of an issue, and that's access to the raising and lowering handle on the thickness sander. But, okay, now the blast gate's open, I can still manipulate this, you know, quite easily. And I'm not sure what the future holds for my shop, how much teaching I will be doing in it. But at some point, there might be a situation where both of these machines are running at the same time. So I may need to do a little bit of adjustment to have that happen. But until then, the blast gate opens and closes, and everything works. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. And I can still change the elevation on the thickness sander. So then I didn't want to attach the flexible pipe right to the blast gate. So I put in, I think it's about 4 or 5 inches, and actually about 5 inches. And then I crimped the end on it so the pipe would slide over. But that crimp is in line with the direction of flow. So the crimp won't affect the quality of suction that I get to the dust collector, or to the thickness planer. However, at the other end of the 6-inch flex, I wasn't quite so fortunate. I ended up having to crimp this end as well to get the pipe on, and so I put a 5-inch piece in there, sorry about that, and crimped both ends so that I could get it in. And that has worked. The only problem I had with this is when I put this together a few evenings ago, I didn't have any 6-inch pipe clamps. So when I head into Saskatoon tomorrow, we're going to pick up some 6-inch pipe clamps. So that's all that needs to be done. Other than that, I'm finding now with more weight, like this whole thing is kind of hanging on the main pipe here. And if I take something from there and run it, say, to the disc sander and to the spindle sander, that's going to create even more of a problem. And like I said before, those joints in those pipes, I'm going to have to tape that fairly quickly, otherwise it could pull apart. But anyway, so far it's still not quite the way it should be as far as taping seams and getting that all done, but it seems to be working pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up a little bit differently, and I'm going to get a board and I'm going to push it through, and I'm going to let you see exactly how it works. So bear with me and I'll get set up. All right, and we're ready to run a board through the thickness planer. One other little comment I want to make about, remember when I was doing the hood and I wanted to make sure it was below the level of the rollers? Well, this is why. So when you send the board through, instead of carrying it around all the way back, you can just set it on the machine and roll it back. And that should really work. So we're gonna turn on the dust collector first. You'll hear it ramp up. partially planed piece of jack pine. So it seemed to work fairly well. You could see the dust spiraling through the pipe here, and I never get tired of watching the dust go through this Clearview cyclone. I tried to show you what's happening in the barrel. Don't know if you could see that on the video, but you can see it circulating in the barrel, which is a good thing. So anyway, we're going to just take you back, and we'll wrap this up soon. Well, there you have it. So I'm really excited about this. This is just another tool in the succession to get my shop completely under the umbrella of dust collection. I've noticed already with a couple of the student groups that I've had in, it's just so much easier to clean up the shop now. There's nothing that gets to the floor except for the tools where I haven't ran piping to yet. So we'll keep moving onwards and upwards, and see the next machine. The easiest would be to hook up the spindle sander and the disc sander because it's just 5 or 6 feet of piping, and I'd have that done. But the one I should do next is the jointer, because that one gets used and it generates shavings and is a constant mess. So, but I'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you so much for coming along and watching today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It would be wonderful if we could add a few more subscribers to this channel, and make it so that there's a point for me to keep coming into my shop and having fun every day. So on that note, this is the weekend version, so have an awesome week, everybody. Normal bathroom renovation content will continue in the next video after this one, and we'll keep on working, and hopefully that's soon going to be done. So with that in mind, have an awesome week, everyone, and we will see you at the end of the week. Take care.